Jared Haas with FrontStretch.com. Obviously, Bubba Wallace got penalized, suspended this weekend with his incident with Kyle Larson. You're pretty good friends with Bubba Wallace. Did you talk to him this week, and what is your reaction with NASCAR's response to Bubba Wallace this week?
Yeah, I spoke to him. Didn't speak about that, but it's NASCAR's decision. It's whatever they thought was the right thing to do in that kind of case. And that's, I don't really speak on too many instances I'm not involved in, but that's all NASCAR's kind of judgment call, and they kind of did what they thought was fit for it.
Go to Bob.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. NASCAR had the Cole Custer penalty the week before, and now this penalty to Bubba. Have they sent any sort of message to drivers? And do you feel like would you change? Would you change any? Does it change any of your thoughts of what you might do in those situations?
Not really. I personally think it's good that NASCAR is putting kind of the law down, right? Like to hammer down on things that they think is wrong, and they want to act. It's the only way you can kind of police it, right? You have to do those things. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's their call. If they see something that they don't like, I expect them to act on it, and they have the last couple weeks. So it doesn't approach the way I do anything. In my mind, you never think that, if I do something malicious with intent or something like that, I can get away with it. You always think there's going to be law and order. But I personally like that they're enforcing things. I think that's the way it should be, and that's why they're the sanctioning body.
Yeah, I think that everyone kind of has their own idea of how they race and react to things. I try to keep my emotions in check, and just try to stay focused on the task. And tomorrow the task is just to try to run 40 or so laps on tires, and that's going to be difficult. You're going to be up against the fence and with a chance to hit it and things like that. So I'm just focused on that, try to block out all the other stuff. And but yeah, certainly I think NASCAR's kind of, we know where they stand and know what they're willing to do. So I just try to race the way that I want to race and try not to get too emotional.
With the penalties to Cole and Bubba the last couple of weeks, do you have, did NASCAR send a message to drivers, and B, did it change any of your perspective of what you might do, in order to help Ross, and or what you might do when thinking about retaliation?
Honestly, it hasn't changed anything in the way I think or the way I do things, because in my opinion, both of those moves were extremely, extremely dumb, both of them. And both of them, I was going to be extremely surprised if they were not penalties. Like, before even those situations happen, I will never do something like that. Not that clear. You have to be smarter. I don't know what those guys were thinking, but, I'm glad NASCAR is reacting to this, because, when it's too much, when it's too much of helping a teammate, and people know, I race everyone very hard, but yeah, in the next few weeks, I'm going to race Ross not super hard, just because he's my teammate. I know what is ahead of him. I'm gonna keep racing him hard. I will never give up a win to help him. But definitely, my level of aggression to my teammate right now is gonna be a little bit lower. But I will never break to give up a position. I know the consequences of that. That's not professional. The same thing, wrecking somebody the way that it happened last week, it's not smart, especially with everything that is happening right now. So honestly, I'm glad that NASCAR stepped in and they were able to put everyone in their places, because it was too much.